All Progressives Congress APC in Osun State has accused Governor Ademola Adeleke of engaging in an abusive court process. Or the party, in a statement on Thursday by its Director of Media and Information, Kola Olabisi, accused Governor Adeleke of treating with disdain the judgment of the appellate court, which reinstated the elected APC local government council chairman and councillors in February 10, 2025. Or the party revealed that it was aware that Governor Adeleke was behind the court suits instituted by the People's Democratic Party (PDP), local government officials elected during the February 22nd local government elections. The Osun APC also stated that it was normally and legally offensive. That the National Union of Local Government Employees (NOLGE) Osun State Charter could get entangled in an ostensibly partisan political matter. It accused the union of swaying to the whims and caprices of the allegedly illegal elected council chairman and councillors who were not known to the law of the land by virtue of the Court of Appeal judgment of February 10, 2025. It recalls that the PDP elected local council officials had on Wednesday approached an Osun State High Court sitting in Ikuru on the resolution of the ongoing logjam created by the occupation of the various council secretariats by the local government officials produced by the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke in 2022. Also, it was gathered that the Osun State Charter of National Union of Local Government Employees (NOLGE) has equally instituted a lawsuit in the Osun State High Court sitting in Ilesha over the forceful invasion and illegal occupation of the local government secretariats by the APC local government chairman and councillors of elected during the Oyetola-led administration in Osun State. First of all, I'll begin with you, Dr. Henry. Let's talk about this APC's accusation of Governor Adeleke, abusing court processes.
Thank you. The last time I appeared in this program, something of this magnitude was asked.
All right.
And my response then was, look, we have too many court ruling in this country where those who is not affected or is affected directly, seems to push aside that judgment and try to implement that which they know that it affected them directly. Now, the issue of Osun State local government election, the issue of appeal court returning the sacked local government chairman during the 2022, when the former governor was on seat, bringing them back. Up till now, I do not know whether I'm talking about the current governor of Osun State, whether they have challenged that matter at the Supreme Court.
Right.
But if they haven't, trying to disobey court ruling by embarking on local government elections that elected new set of local government chairmen as against the ruling of the appeal court, it's one of those things that I do not know how politicians, think when court case is ruled, whether it's against them, since it is court decision, you must abide by it. There is no two ways about it. Than running around the circumference, doing nothing, than making sure that this thing continue to be against you. When are we going to take correction? When are we going to do the right thing? We discussed this matter too many times. Even on radio yesterday, I could remember this same matter was brought for discussion. If you do not agree with the decision of the court on that particular matter, you have a right to appeal it. Take it to the final court of the land, which is the Supreme Court, if you don't like the ruling, than allowing this thing to be going. It's uncalled for. It's not fit a country like us who practice democracy. Of course, if you ask me, I will tell you that the type of democracy we practice in this country is different from any other democracy that is practiced all over the world. And so for them to dodge this particular ruling and went ahead to do what pleases them, it is against the rule of law. And democracy, as long as democracy principles is concerned, this is against it. And so for me, Adeleke, being the current governor of Osun State, shouldn't do this.
All right.
It doesn't fit somebody of his status as a governor of a state. It doesn't, please.
All right. So, and I'd like to get a take on this. I mean, we've had series of developments come out from this. I mean, they just had their local government election on the 22nd of February 2025. And we thought that this is going to die down. But then we're seeing this allegations by the APC that the Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke is not abiding to court processes, rather it's abusing court processes. I'd like to get your take on this one. Do you also see any possibility that the Osun State Governor is abusing court processes in this instance?
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
You're welcome.
First off, I want to, my issue now is with the court. It's one too many.
Okay.
And it's beginning to look like every judgment that is given, they just shoot themselves again. Now, the PDP is accusing, the APC is accusing Adeleke of not paying court order, whereas the PDP local elected chairman went to court just a few days before that day.
All right.
Because they knew they were going to lose their judgment at the appeal court.
Okay.
So, having lost that one, they are now relying on the lower court. So, I think the problem is actually with the court judgment. Because today you will hear that the former chairman who were elected in 2022 are the rightful people. And then the next time you hear it, the other faction, the other party is going to court and getting another judgment to counter that one. So we just keep going to court again. And okay, look at, it's not the same thing that's happening to River State. I mean, court said conduct election in 86 days. Election was conducted, and then Supreme Court now came to say that these people that are elected are not right. I mean, have you seen the
well, if I get it correctly, you're saying that the problem is really with the court judges and not with Governor Ademola Adeleke.
Yes, because the governor has already known that if he fails to implement the judgment, he will definitely go and acquire another one. So he knows that his people are already in court. So if he disobeys this one, he will just point to the fact that they are already in court. And forgetting that it's a lower court. But that is Nigeria that we are in. So you get one judgment from one court, another one acquires another one from another. And then you just keep moving on. So the problem for me is actually the courts.
All right.
Well, I don't have a problem with Adeleke because
not Governor Adeleke, as it were.
Just like my colleague here in the studio has rightly pointed out, when you look at judgment these days, if it favors you, you said democracy, is in action. If it doesn't, you will say that this is the worst case ever decided in the history of Nigeria.
Okay.
And that goes to tell us our weaknesses when it has to do with our institutions. Don't forget that judiciary is one of the biggest and the most important institutions in Nigeria. And not only in Nigeria, anywhere around the world. That the decision that is coming from such an institution should be respected. But in the case of our own country, it is quite different. Just like I said. Now, when you know that this matter is going to be decided in few days, you ran to a court somewhere in your state to obtain an injunction, that instructed you to go ahead with the elections. And finally, when a superior court that is higher than that of your state gave this ruling, you see a whole lot of contradiction.
Okay.
And then where do we stand from here? See, the way politicians are throwing the masses into their own confusion, for me, is contradicting, is completely contradicting. Why are they not coming out clean and clear on matters that will not be conflicting itself over time? Just like you make mention of the issue of River State. Is it not the same thing? Is it the same thing? It's like whatever the politicians are doing and at the same time dragging the judiciary into it, the judiciary will be wavering and doing their bidding without understanding the sanctity of that institution.
No, talking about the judiciary at this point in time, because we've seen this happening basically in the party PDP itself, because these are where we have instances of these events happening like this. So, if for a peradventure now, for the Osun State governor to come out to say anything, do you think this might result to what we are experiencing here in River State?
Oftentimes politicians don't actually necessarily come and give you a press conference for you to read their body language. For him to have, disobeyed the court, okay, should I say disobey? He has not really disobeyed per se, because his people are out, election has already been sworn.
So he's abusing the court.
It was a court that gave him the right to conduct
the election, yes.
So that's one. And then the PDP went back, the APC went back to court and then obtained their own injunction. And then now again, they are going back to court again. So it's more like the issue of River State is actually going to play at some point. Honestly speaking, because if it continues like this, they have not gotten to Supreme Court, but definitely I foresee it's going there, because that's actually what APC wants. APC wants him to appeal it at the Supreme Court, but he doesn't want to go there yet. He wants them to go there first. Now, the part is, what I think is, the more the court processes keeps dragging, the more the tenure keeps going. So before you know it, the chairman has already completed their own tenure, and then we are still back to square one. So the next administration comes to inherit the same problem again, go back again with the court process. So it's still going to be the same thing that is playing in River State. Okay. Because River State, we have not seen the last one. Supreme Court has given a judgment, and we are all waiting for implementation. I don't know how that works. Okay. Who waits for implementation of Supreme Court judgment?
All right.